Hi everyone, I'm Lori Maddalena, CEO of Envision Excellence Leadership Consulting. And when I first was promoted to a leadership role, I was about a year out of college and working for an insurance company. And one day my boss called me in and said, "We're going to hire someone who will work under you. You'll be their supervisor." And so a few weeks later, a woman showed up and literally that was it. There was no training. No one sat me down and said, "This is what it means to be a leader." I wasn't the worst manager in the world, but I certainly wasn't the best. And I realized that this is the experience of most people who supervise employees. We are just promoted, oftentimes for technical ability, but we don't always have the skills to lead effectively. It's actually never been harder to be a leader than it is today. The landscape of leadership and our cultures and work has changed so much over the past 30 years that it's much more challenging to be a leader today than it was 30 years ago. The expectations of employees have changed. They want consistent feedback. They want to be coached. They want to know where they're going in their career. They want to feel a connection with the company and with their leader. And they want more meaning in their work. And so it takes more to be a leader today than it ever has been before. There's actually 3 pillars of exceptional leadership. The first is creating clarity. Creating clarity is being able to create clarity for yourself as well as your staff. So what do you need to work on today? So creating clarity for yourself so you can be the most productive, but also creating clarity for your staff. There's a skill there that's so important for leadership. We often talk about being more strategic. And so many times I've had leaders who I've coached say, "I don't really know what that means. Like, what does it mean to be more strategic?" And being strategic is having this ability to be able to zoom out and zoom in. So zoom out to look at the horizon and understand what's coming up next week, next month, this quarter, this year. What are the goals that me and my team need to accomplish? What's coming up that we need to plan for and be prepared for? And then zoom in. So zooming in is being able to then go to your staff and create clarity for them so that they can focus on the immediate, the today, the this week, this hour, what they need to accomplish. So creating clarity is such an important piece of leadership. And how you communicate to your staff and how you set up your day are important for how productive you are in accomplishing your goals. The second is caretaking the culture. Caretaking the culture is coaching people, giving them feedback. It's the people side of the business. And this I find is one that's often the most neglected because we get busy. We get really busy, sometimes overwhelmed. And the first thing to go is sitting down and having regular conversations with our employees. And so in the Exceptional Leader program that I facilitate, I teach leaders how to have these conversations that are meaningful, but don't take up so much time. So we have to get work done, but how do you caretake the culture in a way that people want to come to work, that they enjoy coming to the credit union every day, and they feel valued and respected, and they want to put forth their best effort. And finally, consistency in results. So you can be a fantastic person. People can really enjoy working with you. You can be a nice leader, and maybe your team's even really cohesive, but if they're not getting things done, if they're not getting results, then you're not effective. And oftentimes what I find with many leaders is that they don't know how to have the challenging conversations. And so they put those off and then results slide. Their team isn't so cohesive anymore. And it's really impacting their own productivity and success as a leader. And so in these programs, I teach leaders how to instill accountability in a positive and principled way. So it doesn't have to be these negative conversations, but how do you instill accountability where people rise up and they're putting forth peak performance and they want to get great results. So we have 2 programs coming up this year that we've been running in partnership with the Maryland DC Credit Union Association for several years now. The first coming up is in March, and that is the Future Leaders Program. This is a program to help build self-awareness with leaders, to understand their style, how they communicate, how their preferences, and how that impacts others as they're leading them. And so we can be more deliberate about how we lead people. We do several assessments in that program, like emotional intelligence, Myers-Briggs, the Strengths Finder. And this is applicable for people who you are looking to build a pipeline for leadership, so maybe some future leaders. It is called the Future Leader course, although I've had mostly people who are established leaders in this course, and even vice presidents say they get a lot out of this, helping them understand their own preferences so they can lead people better. And then our other class is the Exceptional Leader course, which is my signature program. And these are tangible leadership skills. So things like planning and productivity, coaching and developing employees, engaging and recognizing employees, crucial conversations, accountability and results, and finally leading at a higher level. That's a 6-module program where people can leave each module and actually implement immediately to see results. So these are tangible leadership skills to help people be more effective and to elevate their leadership. I hope to see you or your team members with me this year in our leadership programs to make 2020 the best year for your credit union and for your leadership.